Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory in a way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't into wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Hey everyone, welcome to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence. I'm your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and today's guest is going to blow your mind. I promise you. Another artist on the platform, y'all. He's an artist. He's also the founder of Tunnel Vision Entertainment, and he's carving his own path, y'all. So I'm not going to give you too much more. I'm going to let him tell his story. So after his countdown, please welcome this amazing artist and entrepreneur, CYD Tone, to the platform.
I'm a dream chaser. I'm just dream chasing. Touching on the pole, I made the play cause I ain't trust him. Ever since a youngin', I've been addicted to getting money, nigga. Hey, smoke the blunt and watch it stay. Tone. I just pulled up in the Benzo, did off the live piece.
Hey.
What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you for having me today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming to support my journey as I support yours. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we get
Absolutely.
started.
Well, my name is CYD Tone from Charlotte, North Carolina, independent artist. I've been doing music for about 8 years now. Previously, before that, I was a collegiate basketball player, Division I at College Charleston. Went overseas for a year, and then kind of fell out in love with basketball and kind of found a new journey with the music. Got introduced to it and kind of been doing that thing ever since. So just put out my fifth album, Pressure Makes Diamonds. It's available everywhere right now. And I got one EP, so I got 6 total projects. Just working every day trying to get better.
I know that's right. So when did you fall in love with the mic?
I always been a big music, person. My pops, my mom, they always, type of play music in the house. I had that foundation. Family did, some other families did music, so I always loved it. But I didn't take it serious until about 17, 18, I would say, because that's when I got to college. I was, in my spare time, I would start writing a little bit because in my mind, I was always going to be a pro basketball player. So I was just wanting to make a little mixtape for like me and my homies, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So I was taking it serious on that aspect, but then I started to bring some of the, like, how you go home for the summertime and you like rap, you sitting in the car, y'all chilling with your homies, and then like you put a freestyle, put a beat on or something, you start freestyling. And I would start spitting some of the stuff that I wrote down. And they was like, yo, you kind of good. You getting good at this. You know what I mean? So as I dealt with different issues in like my college basketball career and my pro career, it kind of just led me to saying, this is my new passion. This is something I want to take serious. And I always had that. My mom always kind of instilled that confidence in me that, hey, if you put your mind to it, you can kind of do anything you want to. So I had a conversation with her, and she just kind of, gave me her blessing. And then from then, I just, kind of believed in myself the same kind. I treated it the way I treated basketball in that aspect.
But shout out to mom. Shout out to mom for bringing it
Shout out
out
to
of you.
mom, dude. You know what I mean?
So
For
now you
sure.
gotta tell me
Absolutely.
this. You gotta tell me the story behind your stage name. Why did you choose it, and how did you choose it?
See what? Okay. The stage name CYD Tone, it came from a group of my friends that we just kind of started something where we was all like, just kind of talking about our passions that we wanted to do. And we started this little group, and it was called CYD. And it stands for Taste Your Dream. You know what I mean? And I'm Tone is like, in basketball, they called me either my last name, which was Stitt, and Or like one of my coaches one time just shortened Anthony to Tone, and I was like, oh snap, that kind of stuck. So whenever I chose my rap name, that came into the equation. So it's like CYD Tone. It's like kind of like ASAP Rocky. You know what I mean? Like the ASAP is like they little clip. CYD was our clip that we had before that.
Nice. I love it. So what inspired you to start Tunnel Vision Entertainment and start carving your lane?
Uh, so one of my favorite rappers of all time is Jay-Z. So he was a huge, blueprint or inspiration, kind of just in the mindset that I came into that space with. Another big influence was Nipsey Hussle. Right when I was kind of around the time that I was starting to fall in love with like actually making music, not just listening to music, like making music. He was one of the first guys that I seen that had that like entrepreneurial that I seen in the flesh that had like that entrepreneurial hustle along with their music because he came to Charlotte in 2013. One of my boys had like a event and he booked Nipsey Hussle and Nipsey Hussle came to the event. I got to see him. I'm talking about like arm length away to the stage. Like that's how close we was to each. You know what I'm saying? How we was to him. And I got to see him selling that Crenshaw mixtape. He was selling it 100 a copy. And just to see how people was just supporting the movement and everything behind it and how he built the brand. So that kind of always was embedded in my mind. And I knew that I had to kind of just do my own thing because a label. I was kind of late. I felt like I was late at that time. Like really making music at 20, 21 years old. I felt like I was late because other people had been doing it. So I was like, man, the label might not find me. I kind of need to make my own label. And I just kind of went into it with that like that, like that entrepreneurial mentality. I always see myself as a boss. All my favorite rappers own the label. So I just felt like that was the thing to do at that time. And then I learned the steps and stuff like that as I started to go. But I kind of had like blind faith and blind confidence of just, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is how you're supposed to do it if you want to be great. I stepped into it with the mindset that I wanted to be great because if I'm gonna do something I love, I always want to try to be the best at it. So that was just one of the steps that I felt like I had to take.
So now, out of all the artists that are out there,
hmm
what makes you stand out and make people want to listen to you?
Because whenever I feel like whenever you listen to my music, I'm not just rapping the rap. I'm got a message, and it's something that you can take and live by. You know what I mean? It's just like something that these things that I rap about is stuff that I implement in my life per se. Like you know what I mean? Like you know, in this just the album, my latest album called Pressure Makes Diamonds. It's just talking about my journey, about how you see a vision for yourself that might be successful, might be great, might be whatever you deem happy, is happiness for yourself, but your reality is something different. And that that takes a toll on you, that builds a certain type of pressure because it might not be happening fast enough the way you wanted it. Other people around you might be doing things, especially in the social media area. It's just a lot of comparison, so that pressure weighs on you. But then in that pressure, you kind of find yourself, you find your way if you can stay aligned and you keep God first and things like that. Those the light kind of comes back into you where that's your diamond, and it's your mindset. It's the way that you listen to your heart. It's the thinking of abundance, the not in lack terms. So whatever is for you is going to be for you, so you don't compare yourself to others. Just all that type of things that I had to learn myself. I speak about that in my music, and those are things that I kind of pride myself on, that you can take away something from listening to my music, just like a Jay-Z or a Nipsey Hussle, one of those, what I'm saying, those guys that that I inspire to be like. I try to do that. I try to follow in their same footsteps in that aspect.
Wow, you know what? Shout out to you because we need more artists that are relatable and that's really walking the walk and talking the talk. Because there's a lot of artists out there that rap about things they've never been through ever. So shout out to you on that. So, what
Uh,
role does the storytelling play in your music, and how do you
mhm.
keep it true to yourself?
Cause one thing I really had to learn, so I actually had to learn this right before this last album. I was kind of putting like a fake timeline on myself and like more pressure than I needed to on myself to kind of like put out something, you know what I mean? Especially the type of music I wanted to make. I want to make soulful, timeless music. But we're in this era of like microwave music, or we was in this era of microwave music. So I was I was getting in the stage of getting down on myself because I was like, I'm making soulful music, but I'm not making it as quick as somebody is just saying whatever and they're making 13 songs a night or something like that. You know what I mean? So I had to learn patience and not to rush nothing and just kind of let it come to me. So I just kind of live my life and then I draw inspiration from that. And as it comes, I'm able to tell the stories, and that's where it's kind of authentic. I'm not going out making something up and trying to be something that I'm not. I'm just actually, using my life as to be the inspiration. When I first started out making music, I tried to put myself in a position that I wanted to be. You know what I mean? So if I wanted to be a boss, I always try to think from that perspective. And in hindsight, that was one of the things that helped me make good music and not just whatever. You know what I mean? Because I was seeing myself as successful, so I would not want to put out just anything. It would help me with quality control, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yep.
sense. So now I ask every artist this question because I get a different answer every time.
hmm
To you, what is
hmm
the most important element of a song? The lyrics or the beat?
To me, see, it's gonna sound like a cliche answer. I think it has to be a great marriage of both, right? You have to be able to make your people feel something, but then you also have to give them stuff to feed their soul to make them want to keep coming back to you. So the lyrics are just important as the beat, but you can't make one outweigh the other because you got some people that rap the most amazing in the world, but they pick terrible beats and nobody wants to pay attention to it. So now their message goes unheard. And then you got some people with great beats that are feeding you BS. And then you, after a while, you're like, man, why do you get tired of listening to it? So you need that good blend and marriage of both, really. So I always kind of find a beat that makes me want to rap, and then I, focus on my lyrics after I find that beat that gave me that spark or that feeling.
Now you mentioned that we live in this microwave, stage. We do because I've talked to artists that literally drop a song every single week, and I'm in my mind,
hmm
I'm like, how? How are you doing this? So even looking at other people's journeys and looking at yours, and I need to slow down. I need to take my time.
hmm
What are the challenges that you face? Because not only are you an artist, you're also a owner of a label as well. So
hmm
what challenges
hmm
do you face within the industry?
So I actually, my business partner, me and him go back and forth all the time because he's like, in the streaming era, more songs, more songs, more songs is kind of the motto. But I try to tell him what I envision as my career. I don't want to be somebody who's pressured to do what the status quo is or what the average person is to doing. Kendrick Lamar don't rush to put nothing out. You know what I mean? J. Cole don't rush and put nothing out every week. So it's like, what do you see for yourself? What type of career you kind of see envision for yourself, and then you can kind of take that into your own hand. Because it's some artists, I know I work with one artist, and he can put out a song every day that's pretty quality good because he makes the feel good music, and it's not his music is not really so much about his lyrics, you know what I mean? But that's the type of lane and vision that he see for himself. So if it works for him, it works. I'm not somebody that, tell you, say you got to do it like this. You got to figure out what works for you, and I think that's the beauty of it in the journey, because you got to find what makes you unique and bring that to the table and master that.
But I think we say that music has changed, but music hasn't changed. People have changed
People have changed.
because
True. That
people
is
have
very
changed.
true.
Now we did go through the era of the cassettes, the CDs, record players, all the good stuff. And now we're just hitting buttons to listen to a song. Now, as an artist, I know that has to be some type of challenge there because you're literally
hmm
getting paid pennies on a dollar. So how do
Yeah.
you deal with that?
So I actually try to cultivate. It's really funny you asked that question, but I really try to, you know, cultivate that by offering something to my fan base and creating a connection between me and my fans, or me and my supporters, in the sense of like my late on my website that you can go, it's imcydtone.com. But I try to offer blogs, merch, different things like that we can connect, build up an email list. I'm going to working on a Discord. So we offer different things that we can connect that way, and it's more tangible things. I got a CD right here. Speaking of CDs and cassettes that we can sell, for my album is Pressure Makes Diamonds. We brought back the CD. In the inside, you got the booklet where you got the lyrics and you can flip through and see the paper and everything like that. And I got that available for sale on my website. So even though people don't have a CD player, it's a memorabilia, thing. And if it ever comes back around, you got something dope, and you know what I mean. You're kind of investing in something that's going to have that connection with that artist. And I want to teach my people who support me that this is art and it's worth something. And because, like you said, the streaming has devalued music so much that we just press a button or we pay $9.99 and we just get access to every single artist's art. And we have to remember that as consumers, we want the art and we appreciate the art, so we got to make sure that the artist and everybody who's doing the art is taken care of so they can keep providing us great art. If not, we just get this microwavable stuff that people do just for the money. You know what I mean?
I agree. I love that CD. I got to get my copy because you got got it with the lyrics and everything. That's old school right
Yeah,
there now.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I grew up on. Whenever I first my
Yeah.
first my first CD that I ever bought myself with my own money was 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. And I remember opening that CD up, going to Walmart or Target or wherever I went to get the CD. But I think it was Best Buy, but I went to Best Buy, got the CD, took my mom took me the CD. I saved some money up, got it, opened it. He had all these pictures in there. He had the lyrics to the thing. So whenever I was listening to the thing in my CD player, I could read the lyrics. I felt like I was part of the album, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I felt like I was 50 Cent
Yes.
for a little bit. And it kind of, sparked just that feeling. And whenever I was making this album, Pressure Makes Diamonds, I wanted the whole process. I wanted to do stuff to give that feeling of whenever I was a kid and whenever I first got introduced to an artist and what that did for me. So I try to bring that back, and I'm doing that with my CD. It's only 100 copies that I'm doing. They're signed, autographed, and they're available for the thing. So it's a memorabilia piece. If you follow the journey, you got something tangible to feel like you're a part. And whenever we blow up, the whole mob, the whole TV family, you got something. You got a piece of the story. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I gotta get mine so I can put it on my wall. I got CDs from my artists that I'm collecting now that I'm put on my wall, like just as a memory that's signed. So I'm definitely gonna
Thank
have to
you.
get mine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. You're branching out into film and fashion,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you gonna balance, being in film and fashion, being an
Mm-hmm.
artist, and being an entrepreneur over your own record label as well, and still, make everything happen and balance?
Keep everything the main thing. Make sure everybody's common goals is the same, because all of it's going to be able to tie together. The films that and the stuff that we use, the artists on the label are now going to have a chance to have their music in the soundtrack and their music playing in the background. Things that we have an opportunity that we can go, sell to the major corporations and be able to create monetary opportunities based off of their music outside of streaming. You know what I mean? Have the fashion to where we've built up that infrastructure to where our artists on our label can have their merch in order and their brand in order and have a lifestyle brand so they can make that connection, like I said, with our fans, because we value that one-on-one connection or that tangible connection. And then also that provides inspiration for the music always. I feel like, you know what I mean, when you're doing things in harmony and you're doing things that's aligned, it's easy to draw from that inspiration, because you're going to have challenges over here, you're going to have challenges over here, and it's all about overcoming the challenges and growth. And you being able to speak to that is going to be able to be relatable to somebody. You know what I mean?
Boom. If Grandy the name is your name right beside it. That's smart.
Yep.
That is smart to tie that in and still make money. That's making more money. That's money moves. That's a money maker right there.
Yep. We're
Wow.
trying to
Congratulations on
be
that.
innerly vertegrated. I got that from, Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle. Like I said, two huge inspirations of mine. Not only did they have Rock Nation or Rockefeller the label, they also had Rockaware. You know what I mean? And then they also was making Paid in Full, state property. Things just like that, to where you was able to see why he was able to transcend from just an artist to a businessman to a mogul.
Yes, yes, you're absolutely right. Now it's funny that you said Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole don't rush songs, and they don't. They really don't. They put them out when they put them out, and you might not hear from them till years later. And
Mm-hmm.
it be good songs. And even
Mm-hmm.
to touch on J. Cole, I love J. Cole. You touch on J. Cole acts like he's just a normal person walking around. He don't spend a whole lot of money on things either. And people
Right.
they talk about it, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, I bet you got money.
Oh, he got a lot of money.
A
He got
lot
a
of money.
he just sold that label. I mean, he just sold part of his Dreamville Festival to the labels and got a huge bag from that. So
Whoa.
JID just did an interview where he was talking about how Cole had so much money from that he broke everybody else off, that they was able to make generational wealth from them. So that just speaks to the down to earthness, and I feel like the humbleness of somebody like J. Cole, which is you can have all these accomplishments, all these achievements, all these accolades and everything like that, and still be touchable to the people. And
Yes.
inspiration. I think that's the biggest thing, because if you see him walking down the street, or you see him at a gas station, or like I live in Charlotte, so I go to the Hornets games, and he comes to the Hornets games sometimes. But the fact that you can just see him in the flesh right there makes it seem a little bit more real, if that makes sense. And he's not just cooped up in the house mansion, not talking to nobody, not doing nothing, or only showing stuff this where he flashing out, where it's a bunch of chains, a bunch of cars that people can't really fathom at the
Hmm.
when you see him just walking, he don't have no jewelry on, he's in his sweats and he's sitting courtside. You're like, wow, he's where I want to be, but he's super normal. That gives you like, it's like tangible and real that you can do it. And I think that's a valuable piece of hip hop in the 90s and the 80s that people got to experience it now in the 2000s, and in the new era that we don't, because everything is about the flash, everything's about the money,
Hmm.
everything's about kind of flexing on somebody else and showing what makes you different versus highlighting the things that make us similar.
You're right. You're right. Now I'm gonna have to. Now I live in Fayetteville, so I'm gonna have to start going to Charlotte so I can see if I can see him at some of them games. Like, what's up, Cole? I'm gonna
I know,
have to
yeah,
start
he's a
traveling.
super cool dude. He walks through there chilling.
Wow. Wow. See, I need to get out more. That's what they said. I need to get. Don't tell nobody else though. But so what legacy do you want to, CYD Tone to
Mhm.
leave behind for future artists and creators?
I want my legacy to be something that makes them say, "Hey, he came from all this adversity, all this, and was able to do that without having to, step on nobody or be, just do anything. I didn't have to do it in a negative way. I just told my story. I was who I was. I was authentic. So I want people to know that it's power in authenticity. It's power in doing what you love. Chase your dreams. And if you stay down long enough, then your time is gonna come. And just that message alone, I feel like is gonna be able to help our people, grow together. Because if we can get out of that, competition mode, and know that we are abundant and it's room for everybody at the top, I think that we will be in a better place. You know what I mean? We'll
Abs-
continue to make it a better place.
Absolutely. I said it all the time. We can win together. It's easier together.
It's easier together.
That's it.
It's easier together.
So we're down to our last question. This is kind of out of box question.
Okay.
So if pressure really makes diamonds,
Uh-huh.
what diamond do you feel that you've
Uh-huh.
already created, and
Uh-huh.
what diamond are you still chasing?
So the diamond that I have created from the things that I've learned is the foundation, the system that's going to create my wealth and my generational wealth for my family and friends around me, which is that system of the music, art, and film. And I think that I found my lane. I don't sound like nobody. I've did all the work of forging my own uniqueness, and I think that laid the foundation. So I know that I made my diamond, or my wealth. Right now, I'm still chasing the fact of my reality has to change to the point where it is what I vision, so I can retire my mom and take care of her like the way that she needs to be and everything like that. So that's what I'm still chasing, and have that family thing, and have that family intact in order. and do that. But right now, I know I laid the foundation, and in time, I will be able to do all that stuff. So she made sacrifices for me. So I'm in the able-bodied stage of working and hustling and doing what I got to do to make the sacrifices to be able to take care of her and show her all the gratitude that I got for blessing me with the opportunity to even be in this world. You know what I mean?
Wow, don't make me get emotional up here. Shout out to you for being a great son. Wow. Okay. So now we're down to what I like to call the 30 seconds of fame. So this is your
Okay.
moment where you let everybody know how to purchase your music from your website, what's coming up next. Give some advice to these young artists that are, trying to find their way out there. So I'm going to do the countdown. When we come back, you're going to be up here by yourself, and this is your moment, okay?
Okay, for
All
sure.
right. Hey, if you're still watching this episode, first of all, thank you. That means something I said or my guest said is connecting with you. So while you're here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss another episode. Because there are going to be more real, honest, and healing conversations coming. And I love for you to be a part of it. So if you ever felt like you were alone and nobody gets you, trust me, you're not alone. This space is for you. All right, let's get back into it.
What it do, man? It's your boy CYD Tone. You can follow me on all social media platforms at tone_CYD tone_CYD. Again, that's TONE_CYD. Or you can tap in with me directly. I'm on my website all day. IamCYDTone.com. Go copy one of these, man. Hard copy album. We got some t-shirts. We got a bunch of stuff available for you right there, man. And my advice to these young artists that's coming up, or any artists that's out there doing their thing, is follow your heart, man. Be aligned with your higher power, and know that you are everything that you already have everything that you need to be successful. So all you got to do is do it. It's on you. Love.
Amen. Amen. That was some good advice. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my platform. Is there anything that I can do on my end to further you, help you get further? Let me know.
Uh,
Anytime you drop a new song, let me know, because I do run music promos.
okay.
And I play y'all music quite often because my playlist is literally my artists that come across the platform. I really don't listen to other music other than like if it's gospel or something, but I mainly listen to y'all music.
I
So
gotta get you on Instagram. I gotta tap in with you on Instagram, but we can tap in that way. I can say I'll send you a free T-shirt. We working on a new promo thing. Rock the T-shirt from me, and that would be much love. And then
okay.
I know you just support. I appreciate you for having me on your platform, sharing your platform with me, allowing me to tell my story. Um, and other than that, man, I'm really loving the opportunity. I'm really loving the space that I love to see creators doing their thing. So your platform is super dope to have artists on there, and let's keep rocking. If you
I
need
know
me for
that's right.
anything, let me know. I'll come back here every time.
Absolutely. We locked in for life. I got you. I got
Yes.
you. So I'll be doing some promos coming up soon. So stay tuned because I'll probably
Okay.
be running some real soon.
Okay. Tap in with me on
All right.
Instagram. I'll follow back.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And thanks to everybody else that's watching this amazing episode. Listen, hit the website. Y'all see it strolling. Make sure you get one of those CDs. He got old school CDs with the lyrics, y'all. Y'all got to get y'all one of them for real. I definitely got to get me one. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with him and let's win together. So until next time, y'all stay inspired, stay strong, stay believing. Know that you got this. Later.
Better days
Slowly but surely it's a better space that'll waste my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate, but I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm nicking the cold, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.